In Busara's research across sub-Saharan Africa during the pandemic, two trends have emerged more strongly than others. The first is that East African farmers have learned an incredible amount about climate change, often through digital platforms, and then shared amongst each other. In terms of understanding causality, I would estimate that they know more than most university-educated Americans I know, due to the pressures put on them by drought and locusts and the pandemic market forces. The second is that, in terms of identifying risk mitigation measures, not climate mitigation measures, farmers are also testing platforms and have a strong desire for access to them, even if they use only a limited set of the products or services available. Even mid-tier farmers have begun seeking price information from digital services, but validate trends via social media that may be agriculture specific, as well as general ones like Facebook and WhatsApp. I think we leverage this critical and tragic moment in time to help East African farmers make a great leap forward in value chain digitization, which will also help prospective farmers anywhere in the world know how and where to invest their resources and labor. This experience will help us improve uptake worldwide. Even in this moment, we see farmers peeking their heads out to see whether they should attempt to rear more chickens again. They're curious about cost reduction measures, like raising black soldier fly for protein in their feeds, in addition to raising a larger array of crops. As always, diversification remains a mainstay of coping with uncertain times. Hopefully, the farmers trying new technologies are convinced of using these innovative tools to manage their portfolios, whether they're large or small. And we see these trials of 2020 that we've just gotten past, hopefully, as the nudge that pushed farmers to a new level of informed decision making and risk mitigation.
Looking back at the year 2020, digital agents had a difficult time accessing farmers. One, because they were very new agents who did not fully understand our digital platforms, and they had to be trained virtually. Secondly, farmers were not meeting in groups, so the agent had to go farm to farm talking to the farmers. And thirdly, farmers were not keen on accepting visitors. This made the work of the agents very difficult. We had to make it easy for them to deliver, and we had to have a full-time person supporting them, and we opened the channels of communication that each agent was most comfortable with. So we had WhatsApp, we had Facebook, we had calls, we had SMSs, we had our own app and our own platform. We also had to fully sensitize the farmers, and we had to use digital platforms, including our app. We also had to use IVR and SMSs. We also had some ministers of agriculture in the counties give radio talks, and this really helped to make sure that the farmers fully understood what was happening, making the work of the agents easier. The same year made us change a lot of strategies, especially around how we market and how we acquire farmers, and we had to fully rely on digital platforms. Secondly, it opened business opportunities for us where we have corporates and development organizations that are keen on capacity building farmers, and they also had to use digital platform, opening a new business for us.
In 2018, we worked with Mercy Corps to develop a youth pathways model, which described various personas or subsegments and their pathways in rural employment, and also what their key enablers of agricultural success could be. This drew on a large portfolio of work, 26 different projects with Mercy Corps and a variety of HCD and survey data. For example, one of the personas that emerged was opportunistic movers, right? Those that are willing to take big risks and experiment and who really believe in their abilities. Their employment interests are really to move into other types of agribusinesses to supplement their core farming activities. We came up with similar descriptions and a lot more detail for the other personas, such as determined builders, static planners, and rootless climbers. In the last year, we've been really curious to understand how rural employment pathways have changed due to the pandemic. We have been fortunate to have the chance to work with partners such as Mercy Corps, RAFL, OSIWA, and a variety of others to continue researching both remotely and in person with various farmer subsegments. We're seeing some new insights that we believe will fundamentally change how we think about rural employment pathways moving forward. For example, we're seeing COVID significantly impact people's ability to network, right? Which is really key for personas like the opportunistic mover who needs to be able to find opportunities through their local network that they groom and curate. Similarly, we're seeing examples of COVID impacting side businesses that families may have, like their tailoring business, right? And this due to supply chain and transportation issues. And this puts financial pressure on the household, which may change people's risk profile and willingness to experiment with new things. But we've also seen some good news. We've heard of some people taking advantage of new business opportunities. For example, we heard a story about someone who was not seeing milled flour come into their locations due to transportation issues, and as a result decided that there was a new business opportunity to take advantage of by grinding and milling locally, right? So this gives us hope that people will be resourceful, that they will find new opportunities, but that there still are some significant challenges. And so this creates a new model for how we can think about how we could help through products, services, or other types of interventions.
At some point last year, we realized that it was costing us at least 4 times more to engage and onboard a woman agent. We're deliberate about targeting northern Nigerian women farmers, but they have the least exposure to the value of digital. For many reasons, social norms around culture and religion, cost and hassle factors around accessing digital identification, airtime, or data. And then there's mistrust, because they've been exposed to under-delivered inclusion projects in the past. With COVID, we're seeing more curiosity and interest from potential women agents, and even encouragement from their husbands. I've had women who've asked their husbands to call me to inquire about services to have a better understanding of our platform. We have mistrusted the approach of using husbands as promoters in the past, but we're definitely not seeing it cause more harm in recent times. There is an opportunity for us to scale, but we need to move fast when people are still exploring avenues for recovery. And one way we're moving fast is to collaborate. Most actors in this space are confronting the same issue when it comes to trying to reach women, particularly in northern Nigeria, and all have different learnings. We work with service providers, community networks, NGOs, and even government, which has the largest underutilized network for reaching women. Each new addition to the ecosystem brings a new perspective, plugs a gap, improves value for the woman, and from a business standpoint, it reduces our cost of reaching women.
Firstly, I would like to thank the Mercy Corps team for providing this opportunity for me to speak and hosting this up for us. I'm here to talk about two things. One being about how digital tools have changed lives across Africa, and number two being how it's also enabled job creations in rural parts of Africa. Right. To address the first question, I was looking at an article on LinkedIn where it speaks about how digital tools adoption have increased during this crisis time, that's COVID. Uh, Data has become the new oil, right? Data has enabled organizations to make better decisions, especially with farmers. It has helped them to increase the per acre value. Data has helped people, farmers, to make better decisions by, especially farmers, to link to the right markets where they get better price, get access to finance, get access to inputs like chemicals and fertilizers, and grow better, right? Similarly, on other bases where we do huge programs across Africa, especially in Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, and South Africa, we also engage with field officers on the ground, right? Especially in rural regions. And when we onboard these field officers or extension agents, they become agripreneurs. Agripreneurs meaning they try to become self-sustainable by utilizing these data set which they capture from the farmers, right? They monitor a group of farmers, and these farmer data sets become an important aspects for their livelihood, right? It could be in terms of getting a markup when they sell it to the banks, when they link the entire ecosystem to the banks, to the telcos, to the governments. This helps the farmers to increase the per acre value, and the agripreneur to make a self-sustainable living out of it as well. Right. In saying that, I would like to thank the entire Mercy Corps team, and I look forward to the rest of the sessions in coming days. Thank you.